This week's lesson, we're going to talk about truth table. So what is a truth table? Well, a truth table is a table that contains all the combination of the value of the inputs and the corresponding output that represent the true value of the certain Boolean expression. All right, so here we're gonna talk about three different table here. One representing for AND table, all table, and not table. So the first one is AND table. So you got AND, A and B, so that means you multiply A times B. So in this case, if I can zoom it in this case, you got two variables. So you got possible output is 4. The combination, you have 4 different inputs and 4 different outputs. In order to know how many possible outcomes, we got to follow the formula 2 to the n power. If n equal 2, that means you got 4 possible combination. 2 to square equal 4 different combination. If you got 3 variables, so 2 to the power of 3, so you got 8 possible combination. And if you have 4 variables, A, B, C, D, then you have a 16 possible combination. So here you got 2 variables, A and B. So 0 times 0 equals 0, or false times false equals false. And 0 and 1, that means true and false, equal false. 0 times 1 equals 0. 1 times 0 equals 0, and 1 times 1 equals 1. So this is AND table, and if you have an OR table, then when you add 2 variables together, and 0 plus 0 or false and false equal false. So A plus B equal 0. 0 plus 1 equal 1, 1 plus 0 equal 1, and 1 plus 1 equal 1. So those are the possible combination of A and B input and A plus B output. So whatever the Boolean, sometimes people write out different way. They put down A and put a bar line on top, indicate the negation of A. And sometimes people using A as apostrophe. Either way. All right, so that represent the negation of the variable. Got A equals 0, so not A equal 1, and A equal 1, not A equals 0. So when you do the n, not n, A times not A equals 0, A times not A equals 0. Doesn't matter whatever A is. If A is 0, then not A is 1, and when you multiply together equals 0. When you add together, if A equals 0, not A equal 1, so you add together equal 1. But if A equal 1, not A equals 0, when you add together equal 1. So that is the table for not. Okay, now let's look at a couple example here. So let's say if you have 3 variable A, B, C, so how are you gonna write out? I would write out 4, 0 and 4, 1. And for B combination, you write down each one have 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 0, 2, 1. And then C, you write out 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay? Now we're going to perform the expression AB plus C. A times B plus C. So multiply first 2 variable, A, B. So 0 times 0 equals 0, and 0 plus 0 equals 0. So I type 0 here. And anytime you multiply together equals 0, so I don't have to worry about anything multiplied 0 equals 0, so I only worry about C. So C equal 1, C equals 0, C equal 1. All right, when you multiply anything 0, B equals 0, so you got 0 here too. So we worry about the C, we just think about the C. So in this case, 1 times 0 equals 0, so you add 1 equal, add 0 equals 0. So I put out 0, I put out 1, I put out 0. Okay, over here, 1 times 1 equal 1, and 1 plus 0 equal 1. So 1 times 1 equal 1, 1 plus 0 equal 1. So I put out 1 over here, and then 1 times 1 equal 1, 1 plus 1 equal 1. So that is the output for expression A times B plus C. Let's do another one. So in this case, you have a negation of C naught. So I'm going to put down C naught over here. So I'm going to write down next to it. C naught is a negation of C. So I put down 1 here, 0 here, 1 here, 0 here, 1, 0, 1, 0. All right, so now I don't worry about C, but I worry about C naught. So A times B, anything multiplied 0 equals 0. So I don't have to worry about 0. I just plus C and C equal 1. So I put out 1 over here, 0 over here, 1, 0. So anything multiplied by 0 equals 0. So I don't have to worry about this one either because B equals 0. So I only worry about the C. And C equal C naught. So C naught equal 1, C naught equals 0. And over here is when you multiply equal 1. So 1 plus 1 equal 1. And 1 plus 0 equal 1. So that is the output for Boolean expression A and B plus C. A and B or C naught. All right. So if you have 4 variables, then you have a 16 different outcomes combination. All right, so 16 inputs and 16 outputs. Okay, so half of them is 0. So A times B is 0. So when you have a 0, you don't have to worry about this one because multiply 0 equals 0. So think about C and D. Well, C times D, so 0 times 0 equals 0. 0. Anything times 0 equals 0. 1 times 1 equals 1. And 0. And 1 times 0 times 1 equals 0. 0 times 1 equals 0. And 1 times 0 equals 0. And 1 times 1 equals 1. All right, so this one also B equals 0, so I don't even have to worry about the B, A times B, because 0 only add with CD. And CD 0, so this one is 0. C times D equals 0. And this one 0. And 1 times 1 equals 1. And 0 times 0 equals... so here you got A times B, 1 times 1 equal 1. And 1 plus 0 equal 1. 1 times 1 equal 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1 times 1 equal 1, and this multiply 0 times 1 equal 0. So put down 1, and 1 times 1 equal 1. The other one 0, don't worry about. 1 times 1 equal 1. All right, so this one is a combination of AB plus CD. All right, sometimes you have a table, they don't give you 1 and 0, but they'd rather give you T and F. So you do the same thing. T represent for 1 and F represent for 0. All right, and you see the combination, I mean, sometimes they have a different symbol to write out and, or, and not. When you do not, if you have, writing by hand, you can put down a little bar line on top, but sometimes very hard in a computer, so you put the little tilde in front of it and put letter A, and or you can put negative A, and sometimes people use a word A and apostrophe that represent a negation of A. A and B, that means multiplication, so A and B, we use the intersection symbol, that means the V upside down or U upside down. And if the or, that means you adding together, that means union. A, union, letter V shape or U shape, B. Okay, and so if you can see it over here, so this means union, that means it's or. So this is Q, that means union. You put down or over here, that means you adding together. So 1 plus 0 equal 1, true. True plus true equal true. True plus 4 equal 1 plus 0 equal 1, that means true. 0 plus 1 equal 1, that means true. And f 0 plus 0 equals 0, that means f. Okay, we do the same thing. This mean here is the intersection, that means and that means multiplication, and this one also and. So 1 times 1 equal 1, that means you put down t. 1 times 0 equals 0, that means f. And f 0 times 1 equals 0, so put down f. And f times f, 0 times 0 equals 0, put down f. And then you multiply by s. So s is true times 2, 1 times 1 equals 1, so that means t. And f times f, mean s is f, f times f equal f. And 2 times 4, 1 times 0 equals 0, put down f. And f times f, 0 times 0 equal f, equals 0, that means f. So you're gonna do over here, this one is negation, so that you put down s bar if you want to write down another symbol. And this one is intersection, that means multiplication, so that's it, and. All right, so let's do it now. Negation of s is false because true turn to false, and true turn to false, and false turn to true. All right, negation means opposite of s, not s is true, not s is false. So then you take 1, multiply by 0 equals 0, or put down f. This is 1 times 1 equal 1, which is t. 1 times 1 equal 1, 1 is t. And f times f equal f. And f times true equal f. All right, so that's another way you want to write down. All right, so let's do the last one. Let's do the one that with addition. Let's see. Okay, so this is union. Union, that means this is not Q, or put down Q. Sometimes not Q, put down like that. And union, that means or. Union, that means or. So let's do the Q and not Q's. Not Q is up. Negation of T is false. Negation of false is true. Negation of true is false. Negation of false is true. And then you take not Q and multiply by P. P is 1. 1 plus this all, that means you add together. Okay, so 1 plus 0 equal 1, that means true. 1 plus 1 equal 1, that means true. And means 0 here, f plus f equal f. 0 plus 0 equals 0. And f plus true, or 0 plus 1 equal 1, so that means true. So that's another way you can write down the 1 and 0. Instead of write out 1 and 0, they write out T and F. And that's the way you perform the truth table, by looking at the operation, whether they want you to write out the expression for the Boolean expression for your table. And then you just perform the operation. Make sure to do inside the parentheses. First follow the algebra rule, which is parentheses go first, and then perform the logical not, and then perform the operation logical and or. All right, that's multiplication before you do addition. All right, so that's the way you work on the problem in this lesson 16. You got 15 questions to perform for this assignment, and hope you can get it done by next week on Tuesday. the 23 before Thanksgiving. So I hope you have a good week. Bye bye.